How do demons come in? Some have asked how evil spirits come in. You have to know that the devil is a strategist. He chooses the weakest moment and the weakest place to attack the redeemed. Welcome to Grace Digital Presentation. In this video, we will simply describe 6 examples of moments or places of this weakness through which these spirits habitually gain access to human personalities. Number 1, emotional shock or sustained emotional pressure. 1 Peter 3 verse 6 tells us, as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughters you are if you do good and you're not afraid with any terror. The apostle explains to us here that women may qualify as daughters of Sarah if they do what is good and aren't afraid with terror. Another translation of the word terror is intimidation. Men and women are subject to various forms of emotional pressure. For example, an unplanned yielding to the passionate excitement of sexual desire can open up a door to a spirit of lust. Indulging in these sexual fantasies and watching dirty movies can have the same effect. They use this opportunity to come in. From that moment, the young person is subjected to the spirit of lust that is unlike his character or her character. It might also be a sudden surge of emotion. It may also be constant, unrelenting pressure. A man or woman may lose their employment for many weary months. This may cause a lot of time spent brooding over the inability to provide for the family. This can affect this individual in many ways. For example, a remark from the children may provoke an outburst, which will leave an opening for the spirit of anger to enter. This dark, brooding period of sadness can also open this individual to a spirit of hopelessness. Or a parent that seeks to protect their children from problems, which could be both imaginary and real, may project a spirit of anxiety on the youngster until the evil spirit takes over the child. There are various forms of pressures and shocks which people may be subjected to. However, these few illustrations may alert you to this form of attack and help you to build your defenses against it. Number 2, other negative prenatal influences. Other evil forces may also affect a child when they are yet to be born. A mother may resent or intensely dislike the baby in her womb. Perhaps the father is responsible. A major thing that the baby wants is love, while in the womb and outside the mother. The child already feels unwanted if it does not feel love. This will then expose a more profound wound of rejection. Many children are born with this evil spirit of rejection. The spirit of rejection makes an individual feel he is imposing on people, that his absence is better than his presence. The individual starts feeling that others hate him or her. This further separates the individual from his peers and leads to the evil one devising more evil on this individual. Number 3, pressures in early childhood. James 3 verse 16. We are directly warned, where envy and self-seeking exist, confusion and every evil thing are there. A house that is broken with strife, where bitter conflicts exist with the parents, provide an atmosphere that invites these spirits. An observation that can be seen with all these examples is that these problems begin within childhood. Some have grown with the spirit of hatred or anger. Number 4, false religions and occult family background. In Exodus 20, verse 3 to 5, the Lord warns us of idolatry. You shall have no other gods before or beside me. You shall not make for yourself any carved image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them nor serve them. For I, the Lord your God, I am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers on the children, to the third and fourth generations of those who hate me. God gives us warnings against all forms of false religions. The consequences of these sins can extend to 4 generations. If we count back 4 generations, we have 2 parents, 4 grandparents, 8 great-grandparents, 16 great-great-grandparents. This is a total of 30 ancestors. This is a huge connection that we are tied to. None of us can guarantee that none of our 30 ancestors took part in the occult or false religions. This influence can begin while in the womb, as nothing is weaker or more helpless than an unborn child. Number 5, sinful habits. Sometimes taking a single act may open up a way for these spirits. The decision of Judas Iscariot to betray the Lord Jesus Christ is such an act. When he went out from the supper, Luke writes, then Satan entered Judas. Luke 22, verse 3. Judas opened a door that could not close. When we find such things in our lives, we need to ask God for forgiveness. Satan is a legal expert. And when some sinful act has opened the way for a spirit, it needs to be cancelled by God's forgiveness. Any act of deliberate wrongdoing opens a way for the demon. Many such acts are possible. Telling a premeditated lie, for instance, or shoplifting. Number 6, idle words. This is one that catches many of us off guard. Yet Jesus gave us a very solemn warning on this entrance. Matthew 12, verse 36 to 37 says, but I say to you that for every idle word man may speak, they will give account of it in the day of judgment. For by your words you will be justified, and by your words you will be condemned. A question you may ask is, what are idle words? These are words that we utter thoughtlessly. These words do not express our real intentions. When we are called in question regarding this, we often excuse ourselves by saying, I was only joking, or I didn't really mean it. Yet, it is such words that Jesus warns us about. Our idle words can open the door to these controlling powers. A person may use the words, I'm sick and tired, in a moment of frustration. This individual does not mean it literally, but this might open doors to sickness and weakness. The most concerning words are those that involve death. Death is an evil power, and it is unwise to treat it very lightly. In a moment of discouragement, an individual will often say, I wish I were dead, or I'd be better off dead. Those words are basically invitations. We need to be careful in the catchy songs that we sing. The words that we repeat over and over, many have opened themselves to this spirit with the music list that they listen to, that playlist that you listen to. Listen to the content and reject evil words. These 6 examples that we have listed illustrate some of the ways our children and the ways that we may be exposed to demonic influence. We must also realize that demons are very persistent, A demon may be driven out, but still seek to force its way in again. Jesus warned us of this. When a person commits himself to Jesus as his Lord, he can look to Jesus for supernatural power to keep demons out